Doke, people. Poke-doke. Just running a tad bit late. I mean, things have to get done. This 365 is a full-time job. Bear with me as we get chat up. Scheisse, who do we have with us? We have VP. He says those Cinnabons, though. Those Cinnabons, though. Can you plug the fat man up? Paulo Hanzo. We got Doom Manga. This world needs a hero. I think I read one of his chats. My boy said he was cleaning off his countertops all tranquil like. Probes, evening, sir. Chromie Chrome. Mr. Viral Beats. Chromio. Mr. Banana Rider 69. Have God have Beast. Kint Spongelis. Sounds better than Spong, doesn't it, Kent?
Yeah, how's the health, Kent?
Please let us know.
Simon Great Badge.
Sin Samurai.
The Sin Samurai.
Tracker Redacted Legs.
And the Black 2.
Space Capsule, long time no smell.
The Space Smell.
And the Tone the Smith.
Which Tone Smith could not get enough of Monkey Island, and he is going to join us tonight.
Oh, George G's. We got to get a segment that says, what would George G's do? And then everybody in chat is going to spam something that George, what would he do in your situation? You in a real bummer situation at life right now? Some shit that's out of your control and it annoys the shit out of you? What would George G's do?
Let's say George G's is at the Outback Steakhouse, and all of a sudden, they ran out of baby back ribs.
What would George G's do? Would he go out to the store, go buy some, rub them up with some rub real quick, go in the big kitchen, cook up some ribs for himself, sit down and serve it to himself? Is that what George G's would do?
I wonder what George G's would do. Earlier today, Viral Beats had quite an interesting live show, which I had to get on the road and listen to, and clean the house up, listening to his wonderful sound pieces. I think he played everything that was created last year. If I'm not mistaken, go ahead and correct me, Viral Beats, but it was quite the playlist. Welcome back to your live, sir.
It's good to be busy
Today, his YouTube channel is 4 years old.
Damn. The big 4 years.
The big 4 years.
It seems that we're right on par, though, as far as the pace of things.
Yeah.
It seems like we're lined up right at the pace of things.
Just
lined right on up. It's a different experience, I tell you what. Content creation, man, it's an experience.
I really wish everyone had the opportunity to do a 365.
I wish everyone had the support where they could do the 365, because not a lot of people have the support to do that.
It's definitely it's a level up. It's a level up on social media. Facebook, you can just,
post shit.
Check in when you want to and check out.
Put in pictures of the little shit you like to do, the things you done over the weekend.
Mm-hmm. The profile's still there, but you don't have to be. That's what your profile is for.
But here you have to show up. You have to render a piece of yourself, no matter what you're going through that day too. Like you have to erase all the bullshit that you're going through that day to give a little something that you just have to muster up for now.
Welcome in, Mango C4.
How about that? How about that transition?
You ain't lied about that,
bro.
You have to be somewhat of a mind wizard, especially as many things that have happened to us over the year. You got to be a mind wizard to be able to reel it in. Even if you have a shitty day, you got to come in here and change up the whole thought process for people like you, so you don't know none the wiser.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I don't know. You guys don't know, but I had a shitty 48 fucking hours. And it just, for me right now, it's just, I got more shit on top of that. And I truly believe no one really cares about your shit but you. Because everybody's involved with their own shit.
That's generally the story.
So now so what I'm doing right now, and I'm being truthful, is I'm trying to get out of my headspace and just give what little bit that I have of my mind to you guys. And it helps because I don't have to think about the other bullshit. Do I wish I could stay here longer with you guys until it all melts away? Sure. But I know as well as you guys know, once the show is over, the bullshit comes rushing back, full steam ahead.
Tracker Jack's right, except for dogs and cats, kinda. Cats are a different subject, but dogs, they don't give a fuck about none of that.
Your bad day, they just love you.
They're like, hey, man, come in, sit down, man. Let me lick your toes, man.
Yeah, they just love you.
Come here. Let me lick your face, man. Is there anything I can do? Hey, you want to go out and play? You want to go out and play with me, man?
Shit, even if a dog had a bad day, he erases that shit so quick.
Space Capsule says, bullshit has a way of finding you. It does.
It does.
It has a great sonar for those whose bullshit meter is running low. It's like a excellent waiter. Sir, please let me fill this up for you.
Because truly, you have not had your fill of bullshit.
You could drink your bullshit halfway down and it's just like, oh God, I'm glad to have that off my plate. And here come this punk ass waiter.
He just keeps topping it off.
More bullshit for you.
I said I want the check. I didn't say I wanted more bullshit. Stop feeding me a line of bullshit.
Oh, I'm sorry, good sir. I thought you wanted more. Good sir. To have to function with it, knowing that it exists, knowing that it's there, knowing that this animal is going to ride you hardcore. The bullshit jockey.
Y'all ever wish you had a set of keys to bullshit to where you could just call it for what it is? It's bullshit and then turn it off? You ever wonder why we don't have keys to turn on and off bullshit? You ever wonder why you just got to go through things in life? Like why do we have to go through, why do we choose to go through this bullshit? How come we just can't ignore it and just call it what it is? It's just bullshit in the wrinkle of time.
That's right, Space Castle. Today is the bullshit factor.
Today is the bullshit factor.
Because we're living life and we're going through it. So y'all gonna go through it with us.
Because this is part of the whole life.
Uncle Chrome says, what is your capacity for bullshit?
What is
mine plummeted when I retired.
See, and you had something to fall back on. Retirement, it means bullshit can, if you choose to, can roll off your fucking shoulders. But for others, nah, it's got to stay there a while so we can sit in it and digest, manifest more bullshit.
This world needs a hero says, the waiter said, sorry, sir. Let me get that bullshit right out to you. Didn't even ask for it.
Ever notice when a thing starts going the right way, sometimes comes to try and knock you off course and break you? Samurai, I'm glad you said that today, because today I had things in my mind that were going the right way.
Tonga Balonga.
I thought things were going the right way, and I thought, you know what? It's going to be easy if I can just get through just this little bit of shit, because the turnaround is going to make it better. But then something flies in from the south as I'm looking north, and it takes all that shit away and says, nah, we want you back in the bullshit. So how do we get ourselves out of bullshit? That's my question, since we can't turn it off.
How do you get yourself out, Tone?
How do you get yourself out, Tone? How do you get yourself out of perceived bullshit?
Call it out.
And give me an example on how you would call out the bullshit, Mr. Tone Smith. Elaborate, please.
Oh, man, I don't know. I have the fake arguments in my head afterwards, not beforehand.
Oh, we got an echo with you. I think check your echo cancellation.
It's a double feed on the double feed.
We got a double feed on a double feed. Is your phone
Do you
volume?
hear yourselves?
No, we just hear you double time.
Oh, there it is. Wait, is that better?
Say something.
I didn't do anything, so.
Oh, yeah. Well,
It's still there.
no, it's not.
Oh, it's not? Say Tonga Balonga.
That's Tony Baloney. Come on, man.
It is still
Oh,
there.
it is still there.
I had this figured out.
Hold
on. I got you.
I think let's see. Maybe the wife said fixed. What'd you fix? She said, I fixed it. Now check. Okay, check now. Yeah, I don't hear him at all now. It's gone. He's gone. Since Samurai says, become one with the bullshit.
I like that. Capsule says, once you identify it, don't say anything. Just quietly, politely disengage.
It's quite the tricky thing to do, to change out of those emotions.
Chrome says, call it out. Great idea, boss, and laugh it away. He also says, fixed with extreme prejudice.
Muted, fixed.
Or simply send bullshit to hell. That's what I do. George G says, y'all send y'all bullshit straight to hell and let God sort it out. I think when you get your hopes up and you get like all your damn emotion behind it and your feelings into certain things and you're set and you've fixated on just this particular thing, and then for it to be swiped up under you, you have this resentment, this anger and all this extra nonsense that comes with it. But for the life of you, you can't understand why no one else understands it but you. So yeah, I'm with Samurai. Become one with the bullshit.
Become one with it. We're okay. Wait, now Tony, say something.
Can you hear me?
Oh, it's there.
It's fixed. It's better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm not too quiet. I'm not too loud.
No. You could actually turn up just a little bit, but it's perfect.
All right.
Can you so we can see him live? Hang on, give me 1 second, because we have the YouTube delay.
George says, what would Jesus do?
Hold that.
That's what Georgie says. Georgie says, what would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do?
But isn't Jesus us? And so if I'm breaking that down correctly, it still resorts back to the self, doesn't it? What would self do? Samurai says, study stoicism every night before bed so you're ready in the morning. So you don't have to be fucking let down 24/7 from someone else's construct. Maybe traffic. Maybe
I used to study stoicism, and I found out that I couldn't keep up with it because I was letting myself down because I couldn't keep up with it. It added another stress. So let's hear it, Tony. Let's hear how do you ultimately deal with it and not let it take you down this torment hole. Welcome in, Kent Spong.
Sometimes, hi Kent. Sometimes it takes you down the torment hole and you kind of can't get away from it. We talked about in the interview stream, like, you got to live in it. You got to experience it. You got to know what it's doing to you and figure out how you're not going to let it affect you.
But how do you do that in the moment of bullshit, right? Like
Probably poorly.
It's going to affect you, right? But at what? So what? I guess my question is, how long do you sit in it?
If you're in a okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me,
No, and I'm going to break it down for me even easier. If you're in a meeting and you get a disturbing phone call, it was some shit that didn't even need to be said right then and there, but you're in a meeting and it obviously upsets you. You hang the phone up. Now, how do you flip that switch?
If I've got something to distract me, I'm probably going to handle it better than if I have nothing and I can just let it sit there and think about it. I think about when I have arguments with my wife and I'm mad at her, I don't stay mad long. I've been good at this all my life. I don't stay mad. Mm-hmm. I'll hold a grudge if I'm really wronged by somebody, but in general, I get over it pretty quick. It rolls off. How I do it, I'm not really sure. I've been complimented within my life about exactly that. Like, hey, you don't let that bother you. That's great. That's a great thing to do. I couldn't tell you how I really do it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, sometimes that's a beautiful answer in itself. Is I don't know.
Yeah,
it's something that's not been said a lot. Is I don't know. You know.
But I'm with you, Tone. I don't. Yeah, it burns me out and it gets me in this mindset where I'm just like, fuck it. But then after like 20, 30 minutes because I know my true self and I know the true nature of my being, and I can't hold grudges. I can't stay mad long. I've always been that way. Mm-hmm. But I find it fascinating that what Samurai and somebody else said is, yeah, you embrace the bullshit. Trying to outrun something is futile, knowing that you're invested in whatever it is that's in that person's life that's going on. You have to find a way to deal with it. And I think it's a blessing and a curse. It's all perception. It's the curse because you have to render your emotions to it, and it makes you feel crummy and down and out and get your heart rate and anxiety up. Yeah.
And I worry because like as I age, my stress, the way stress affects me goes up.
Right. Right.
I remember a couple of years ago, I had 2 panic attacks in like a small period. It's maybe a couple of months. Mm-hmm. I had never experienced anything like that. I haven't had one since. Don't know what triggered it. But like you hear the stories of people like, oh, they died from stress. They, that you hear men talk about like that fucking ball in their stomach where they keep all their stress and it kills them eventually. Like, am I doing that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and then the other side to that, knowing how it affects you, there's the other side, right? There's the side where it says, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to let it affect me because this is how life goes. It has ups, it has downs, but it's not the end. Like, it's not my end. It's just a fucking hiccup in this wrinkle of time. And this too shall pass. And it's like there's going to always be these obstacles and more walls to climb that are filled with bullshit.
Bullshit's never ending.
Bullshit is never ending.
Never ending.
So this brings back to my whole totality of the point. You could jump in at any time. Why do we, and don't get me wrong, I understand we have to go through it, guys. I do realize that. But knowing like what you just said, Tone, if the bullshit wall is endless, why do we give so much of ourselves to it versus retreating back to the better side of ourselves? Why do we have to quickly engulf ourselves into this fucking state of being instead of engulfing ourselves into a state of loving nature and just letting the shit go?
So why isn't it instantly rejected?
Why is it not instantly rejected? Knowing that we know there's an endless supply of it, why do we choose to hit every fucking fence with our face instead of climbing it with our hands and feet?
It's the niggle effect.
Did you just say it was the nigger effect, Kent?
Refrain from
there's
using.
there's a word I have never used, even in jest, mate.
Sir,
Good.
I haven't
Right.
seen you in the dog's age, and the first thing you do, sir, is you come on my show and you rate my brother and I.
Blimey,
You
mate. What's the
proclaim to
matter?
call us niggers, sir, in the live studio audience.
Again, the niggle effect.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Hi, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Brother Kent. I overstretched. I totally poor taste on my part, sir.
Fucking hell.
Poor taste on my part.
Mate, I've already told you how much I detest that fucking word so much.
That's what makes it even funnier.
I do
I know.
apologize, Sir Kent Spongelis. I just don't know what's come of me of late, brother.
Ginger? Uncle Chrome. Ginger?
Ginger?
Seriously? Maybe in this light. Actually, you're right. It does look a bit gingery, doesn't it? Yeah, because some bullshit just sticks a pencil in your side. Some, you just go, nothing to do with me, let it go by, you know? But is there a lot of bullshit out there? There's more bullshit out there. No, that's not true. There's the same amount of bullshit, but you get to hear more of the bullshit than you used to.
Damn, that's true too.
YouTube, media,
Facebook.
you name it, there's certain degrees of bullshit on all of it. And, you know, and you're using these inverted commas services, and yeah, it's full of bullshit.
Yeah.
The problem is when, you know, it depends on the type of bullshit. Sometimes it's misdirection. Other times it's just winding people up for the sake of winding people up, for the sake of effect. But there's so much of it out there. Interesting. What Tom was saying about he's having an argument with his missus. When I have an argument with Fiona, it just turns into a just not calling each other names. That's not really what happens. It's try and say something that's just funny, just diffuse the whole thing in the end. Because what we're arguing about is not important. Because you never really argue about things that are important. You talk about things that are important. Mm. You may have a heated discussion, but you don't argue about it. Mm. Arguing is what you do when neither perspective is important. You know? And sometimes people can't differentiate. Oh, that's a point. Differentiate between what is arguing out a point and fighting over shit. Sometimes people see that as one and the same kind of thing. So, you know, yeah, but like I say, the bullshit, the fucking crap is everywhere. It really is now. It really is.
Man, to just think about what you just said, you know, and the wife and I had a conversation about something important, which in other aspects, I would have turned it into an argument knowing me. And I think it's just simply the way she responded and kept control in the conversation, where ultimately it didn't lead to an argument. It led to, this is an important conversation. It commands understanding from both sides.
That's such a talent too. It's important to be able to do that.
Right? Because she knows she's dealing with a monkey, and there has to be you have to make the monkey feel like it's the monkey's idea, if that makes any sense to you. And she's like, no joke, the Jane Goodall before I come unglued. She pacifies the monkey, makes the monkey realize, okay, look, this is the environment you're creating. You're going down this hole. I'm going to tell you what's down there before you get down there. Are you going to stop and listen, or are we going to argue about it?
I mean, it's very easy to get drawn into it, and I mean, it's one thing with, you know, a spouse, family member, or you know, a friend, or somebody, you know, somebody you know. It's when it comes at you from people you don't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and just stirring it up for the sake of stirring it up. And it's very easy to get drawn in, and you know, be going around for the rest of the day with this sort of like black cloud over you from it. But at the end of the day, I suppose it's down to the individual and how they deal and how they filter.
Yeah.
Is it cut and dry for you, Kent? When you detect bullshit and you know it's coming your way?
No. It's never cut and dry.
Okay.
Each bullshit has to be dealt with in a certain way, depending on what type of
So
bullshit
it does
is.
affect you emotionally. You do find yourself being angry and going down the hole. You don't just magically.
If I let it. Right. Now, if it's about a point that it's close to the heart, you can get sort of like about it. But the thing is that nothing is gained from it. Like, you know, people like to try and win the point, and to sit there and argue the toss to win the point. And you know, and if they win the point, they go, yeah, I won the point, and
Yeah.
you go, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
And they won't
no
even
one was
tell
saved.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they won't even tell you that they're happy they won the point. They'll just reflect in that and
They
just, you know.
got this
Yeah.
non-existent point to put on their non-existent scoreboard,
Right.
which means nothing to anybody else on the planet.
But them. Right.
And
Let
even
me-
then, it still has no value to them.
It's yeah, but it still won't fill their empty little stomachs. Let me get through these. Space Capsule says, as you are feeling a sense of anger or frustration, ask yourself, am I going to think about this moment a year from now? And that's so very true, because if it's not killing you or if it's affecting you, what is it impactful enough to where it's going to affect you a year from now? If not, then fucking move on. This world needs a hero says, I try to realize what I have and know that it can be taken away at the blink of an eye. He's using perspective.
I think if you got some sort of bullshit that you know you think would be affecting you a year from now, right? One of two things. One, you easily take offence and don't know how to deal with it, or you know there can't be much fucking going on in your life if that is able to have that much of an effect on you over that period of time. You know, so yeah, I don't know. There's always going to be counterpoint to anything and everything. I mean, it's like when I you know, I'll be on the pub or something like that, and I'm talking about something I saw that day, and I'll get, which is typical of me, maybe more than half of the facts actually wrong, and somebody in the chat will put me right. Now I could go, how dare you put me right? You know, this is my street. You know, all that sort of thing, stomping around all over the place like a little Hitler. But we don't, because I know people who have and do get upset about things like being corrected in the chat and stuff like that. And I have said to these people, who shall remain nameless, but I have said to them before, I said, look, if it affects you that much, you shouldn't be streaming. That's the whole point of streaming. It's exactly the same as going up and out on stage. You know, if you get a heckle and you can't deal with it,
Then stop.
you shouldn't be on that fucking stage. End of
Right.
story.
Right.
It's not like, oh, they're bad. You know, no. If you can't take it, you shouldn't be fucking standing there, mate.
Tone, if you rewire yourself instantaneously like a light switch from happy to an anger state, and let's just say you're angry at the wife, and then you convince yourself to flip the switch, and you force yourself, just listen to me for a minute. You force yourself to be happy. Is it genuine? Do you feel like you cheated yourself out of something afterwards? Does it feel like something wasn't right?
I think so. For me, it happens the other way, though. And she'll do something that pisses me off, and I want to stay angry because I get over it fast. And I can't. I want to be able to say to her afterwards, hey, this made me feel a way, and this is why, and that's not cool. And I don't get to do that. It's actually a bad example because we don't fight a lot. I think the things that like set me off more than anything are strangers. To Ken's point, strangers doing things that. So I was in the pub today, hanging out, and they were talking about people driving in Paris and London, bad drivers and whatnot. That's something that upsets me and will like piss me off for a long time more than anything. Like if I'm on the road and someone's doing something completely unsafe, putting me in danger for like no good reason. Man, that sets me off like that, and I will stay mad for a long time. I'll be sitting there driving, just like 10 minutes later, just start like, oh, again, at this raging at this person who's, I don't even know where they are at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
But they won, right?
Yeah.
They won.
They took a piece of you, and you gave in to that.
And they don't even know.
And they don't even know.
No.
So even the ones that do know, and you let them win, think about that. They're winning every time because every little thing that they do that they take from you, they win, and that's exactly what they want.
Yeah, it's funny how you could pick and choose on what you want to stay angry with longer.
It's a choice. Maybe it's just because it's like a duration thing. Maybe that shit's been going on for a long time. Who knows? But I find it funny, like you're like people, like what Tone said. I had somebody cut me off once, right? Fucking furious, 4 or 5 hours, and that person's long gone.
Yeah. And why?
Why?
And yet 4 or 5 hours of my life is just shot out.
But again, that's kind of like a different situation again, because that would, when you're driving on the road and somebody cuts you up or pulls out, does something really, really, really fucking stupid. It's the game, because it's the same principle of playing a game with somebody, because when you're on the road, you follow rules like you would in a game. There are rules, and you follow these rules. When somebody breaks the rules, like if they're trying to get past or something like that, and they do something incredibly stupid and cut you up and force you into the curb or whatever, right, they're breaking the rules because they're trying to get like 4 feet ahead more than they were.
Right.
And you're left seething about it because you're playing the game properly, and they're fucking cheating. So you feel that this sort of like attack against you because of it, and it makes you angry.
I do hate cheaters.
Me too.
There you go.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
But just because it's cars, it's and it's on the road, it's no different. It'd be exactly the same as, you're playing rugby or something like that, or football, and somebody either trips you up or elbows you straight in the mush, and the ref didn't see it.
It seems like it's a design flaw. And here's what I mean by that. So how come we don't readily retreat into the confines of something positive, something that takes us away from the bullshit? How come our first resort is to just render and submit and just dive into the negative aspect? How come we don't readily retreat to the positive side of things? How come we just say, you know what, that happened, but I'm just going to create space from that and just fall back on what I know?
Well,
I think that's because you had already been in that state, and this event has broken into your peaceful little space, which then aggravates you more because you're feeling put upon, So You know, because at the end of the day, all of us, especially in the West, right, we are all under pressure, right? We all have to, you know, apparently abide by these rules set by others, right? You have to follow certain rules. You have to have certain expectations you're expected to reach, bills that you have to pay, and everything like that. And you're trying to do the best you can for you and your family, right? Now, other people are trying to do this as well, and some people not so bothered about it, and they're elbowing and barging all across everybody and pissing them all off. And after a while, you get very, very, very pissed off with it. You know, it's literally like that, you know, the film Falling Down, that kind of thing. So, and, you know, people have different breaking points. So, you know, it's, you know, the flip of a coin. If you were to just sort of like, I won't let that affect me, I'll ignore that and carry on. At the same time, you're just, you know, are you really dealing with it? Or are you just letting it all build up and build up and build up? You know, and you're having a stroke at 30. You know? And sometimes it is better to vent right there and then when it happens. You get it out of the system.
Yeah, I agree to that.
So, but that then, again, is based on the, you know, the genetic makeup of the individual.
Of the individual.
Yeah, because there's, you know, when you say, how do you deal with the bullshit, everybody has to deal with it in the best way they can. And they'll all deal with it, you know, differently. We'll all fall into certain categories, all of us, but, you know, it's only while living that you find out which category you're actually in.
Jack says some people in such situations will memorize an image that makes them feel good, peaceful, and recall the image in these situations.
Yeah.
Probe says, imagine shouting at a car that drives itself.
Yeah. But there again, this is where, you know, this is the whole sort of go to your happy place.
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's pretty much what that is, you know?
That's that distraction Tone was talking about. I think everybody at some point, you're going to have to retreat back to a distraction, or whether it may be an image that was of a happier time, or maybe of a happier situation in life.
Yeah.
But I do agree 100% wholeheartedly is everybody's perception of a bad day or of bullshit greatly differs. And I hate to always use that, but some people lose a whole fucking family last night, and they're the only survivor.
But that's perspective at its finest.
And it goes to show, and some person could have lost the dog they had for 9 years, but yet they equally are affected and grieve equally because that was something to them.
Yeah.
And us being on the outside, we could easily say, oh, but dude, he lost his whole family. You just lost the dog. And it's not fucking fair. We don't know what someone else is going through. You don't have any right to even fucking, I guess, comment because it's their narrative.
My pain's not for you. Your pain's not for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
everybody is individual, and their pains are individual.
Moment
by moment.
So how do you coexist with somebody that's so far with their shit than your shit?
You know, like you say, you know, somebody's just lost a child and somebody's just lost a dog. But it could hold the same importance in their lives. But when you put them next to each other, generally people are going to go, oh, this poor person, they've lost their child. That's different from losing a dog. Not to that poor bastard.
Right. Not to that person's perception.
So while those two individuals are like that, they can be dealt with in their own right, in their own ways. As soon as you put them together, people start picking sides. People start gauging who's hurting the most and stuff like that because they're only comparing one thing against the other.
Yeah, they only see it
and
from their
life
side.
is just full of these comparisons.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And how you're feeling at the moment. Like, somebody will say something that will really wind you up, but only because of something that's happened to you that you're relating to what they're saying, and seeing in terms of how you feel about the particular subject, why that's winding you up. Whereas somebody else who's never had that happen to him, nothing, straight over, no problem.
Trader to the Living said, I can't ride in a vehicle with my brother driving because of his road rage. It's wild. I can relate.
Yeah, no, I know some people can. Oh,
you just don't want to put your hands in someone else's, or your life in someone else's hands. Yeah. Especially if you know they have a modus operandi.
Yeah.
Especially then. What did Probe say? It's most frustrating when you have to deal with someone who is in a more peaceful position than you.
Powerful position.
Oh, powerful.
Power dynamics.
Yeah.
And that's,
okay.
That's a whole nother.
Yeah, it's a different kettle of fish. Yeah.
That is a whole nother mind
That's
fuck.
fucking ego fuck right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, how do you navigate? How do you circumvent those waters?
I think you don't. I think we just what I'm learning is ultimately you just got to take care of yourself, and you can't waste any more energy on trying to control shit that is just out of your control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the bullshit affects you. It's going to affect you, but you have to dig deep. These are the times you have to dig deep, get out of it, power through it, and just take care of yourself mentally. You can't spend your energy trying to repair others. I just think that's futile.
I think my uncle.
Yeah,
my uncle would. He used to say this all the time, right? About how, you'd be going on, something's happened and everything like that, and you go, oh, it's not fair and all the rest of it. And he would say, he said, well, we used to have national service lads, go in the army, go in the Navy, Air Force, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter what was right or wrong. You did what they said. Doesn't matter. It's all he says. It's good training. He says, you don't get affected by shit after being in the service. Somebody punches you in the face, and you punch them back, but they saw you punch them. You're the one in the wrong. End of. And that's the end of the story. It doesn't matter what you say.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Whoever's further up the chain says, no, it's your fault. That's it, done and dusted. And you just accept it and move on.
Yeah, I guess you can never tell someone, stop focusing in on that. When my ex-wife decided she was going to hold my 11-year-old daughter from me so I could never meet her again. It's been 11 years. She's 11 years old. The last time I saw her is when she was born. I used to dwell on that for at least 8 years of my daughter's life. Now, I don't think anyone, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that's in my situation, but I dare someone to not stress on it, not think about it, not let it consume them. I think you have to absolutely let those things happen in order to come out on the other side. Mm-hmm. You have to go deep in that situation in order to come out like I am now. Now I'm at a situation where it's just like when the wife and I talk about it, how it affects me, I keep coming back with the same answer, and so does she. Time will cure everything. And people always have questions. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like, your daughter will have questions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was going to say.
And you never know, who knows, in another, 5 years?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you go to the door, there's nothing your missus can do about it.
And I pay child support on top of child support. Right?
You pay child support, but you still don't get any access.
No, because the courts allow the person who has the most money to have the last laugh. And they're extremely wealthy.
a beautiful example of having to deal with the bullshit.
Beautiful example.
Out
Of
your
the whole
control.
sort of thing. If somebody else is got, the peg, and you haven't, tough shit, mate.
Yep. But that goes back to what I was just saying. He found a way. He got on with his life. He still had to deal with this shit, right? But you get to a point where you have to say to yourself, it's out of my control. There's nothing more that I could physically do.
But I had to go through it.
You have to go through it.
I had to go through it. There was no going around it.
Yeah.
And you can't ignore shit like that.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's in your face every day. You sit there at bed at night. My problems don't affect my wife. She's not going to carry that burden like I carry that burden. She has a daughter and a grandkid. She's worried about and carrying that load.
Yeah.
And that load is not my load. And we sit there as a married couple, and there's things we all struggle with that no one is going to really get unless you've literally worn those shoes.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only have a sort of like an inkling of what it might be like. It's like, when I say to people about, you go, oh, I'm agoraphobic. And you go, what's that mean? They go, well, don't go out. Oh, okay. Oh, that's not so bad. Cool. You go, mate, you got no bloody idea, have you?
Zero.
Yeah.
I hope you're right about that too, Uncle Chrome. I hope she's that teenager that's just driving her mother crazy. But at the same time,
even Fiona now says, right, she goes, so what happens when you get ill to the point where you have to go to hospital? I go, I guess I'm not going. She goes, what if you have to? I guess I'm not going. She goes, oh, come on, like that. I go, no, you don't seem to realise just how much of a barrier for me it would be.
Right. There's no way to share that with someone.
No. I said, you can put a loaded gun to my head. I'd rather you just pulled the trigger than have to go. It's that level. It's very hard for a normal person to go, no, come on. But the reason they think that is because they can get up and go to the hospital if they want to.
People never understand what other people go through.
No, exactly.
No.
Nope.
And
No
this
one's-
is why
yeah.
I've always been, since getting agoraphobia, I've always sort of like definitely try it. Sometimes I have to catch myself, but definitely try to not see something else that's going on with someone else as more trivial in any way.
Right.
Because you don't know. If you haven't experienced, you don't know
I try my
how
best.
much it is affect them.
I try my best to empathize, but at the end of the day, nobody knows what the other person has to deal with.
Not really, no.
They look at you and go, I get it. Yeah, but I get it. No, you don't. And I don't get your shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
And then you go back and reflect on your own shit when
Right.
someone's confronting you with their shit.
Yeah. And then
Well,
there's...
it's like when you're good sir here, right? And you were saying about having those panic attacks, right? That's what kicked all this off. So I know what those panic attacks are like. So, and I can empathise with him when he said, about having the panic attacks. And inside my head, I'm going, "Oh, you poor bastard,"
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
because I know what they're like, and they are
I
not.
know what they're like
fun.
too. I know it. I deal with anxiety, so I know what anxiety is. Waking up in cold sweats and fucking forgetting where you are when you wake
Can't
up.
breathe, can
can't
barely
breathe.
walk,
Yeah.
exactly what it was.
Hitting the
Shaking
fucking
like a
inhaler
twat.
just to open up your lungs. Just
couldn't concentrate on a thing.
yeah.
Laying
And
on
I was
the
getting these
floor.
panic attacks sometimes twice a day in the beginning.
Can't
you know.
imagine.
What's weird is if I get one now, I go, no, I could be in a room with 50 people and have one and nobody'd know. Because after 40 years, you learn how to cover it.
Yeah.
You're still like that inside,
Right.
but none of it's out here.
You ever get that feeling, that impending doom feeling, that feeling like, how am I just going to cope with the next few minutes? Like how
God,
are you?
yeah.
How am I just gonna how am I gonna deal with this shit for the next few minutes?
Mate, I had this last week. Rocking
Yeah, I
backwards
live
and
in this
forwards in
world.
the garden at 2 o'clock in the morning with this
Yeah.
pain in my chest that is so bad. I'm going, it'll be over soon. It'll be over soon. Please, 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 go away, go away, go away. Like this. Because if somebody said to me before, they go, acid reflux. I go, oh, yeah, that's a bit like having indigestion, I suppose. Well, I suppose that's quite uncomfortable. No, it's not uncomfortable. It's fucking deadly. I had no idea. No idea at all. But now I've experienced it, I'm going, okay, Kent, stop being a wanker. You better start looking after yourself properly.
Yeah.
Eating correctly.
Wake up calls.
Yeah. And do you know what? So I'm 62 now. And so far through my 60s, I've had a lot of these wake-up calls. Like, no caffeine anymore and stuff like that. But 2 years ago, that would have been unheard of.
Right.
Absolutely unheard of. Although, Fiona said to me, she goes, I want you to cut down on your coffee. I go, but it's decaf. She goes, yeah, but you still drink an awful lot of coffee. I went, oh, okay. I said, she goes, 4 cups a day, maximum. And I went, all right, I agree to that. Okay, I agree to that. And so I went out, or rather went on Amazon and bought this coffee mug.
You twat.
Yeah,
it's big as my head.
Jesus.
And she saw it and she went, oh, fuck you.
No, Mum.
Fuck you.
You know what I find funny? As you guys are talking, I'm realizing how I handle my bullshit. So, Ken, you talk about the panic attacks, and I had my first one, and it was bad. I laid on the floor in my hallway for like half an hour in the middle of the night. I couldn't even call for my wife for help. I couldn't verbalize, right? A few months later, it happens again, but I was lucky it was in the winter. And I realized it was happening, and I got to my back door and opened my back door and sat there on the threshold and let the cold air, just sat on the floor.
Yeah.
The cold air washed over me, and in a matter of 5 minutes, I felt better.
Yeah.
I knew cooling off was going to help me, and I handle it scientifically, I want to say. I don't know, but it worked.
Yeah.
Dealing with, back to what I believe it was, Jack or Probes said something about the happy place. When my mother passed, a good friend of mine who had lost his father a few years prior said to me, he's like, when you're feeling down, he's like, just message someone message your sister, message someone in your family. Doesn't have to be, don't have to tell them why. Don't have to talk about the thing, just to say, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
So the next time after he told me that, I was feeling sad about losing my mother. I put a text message group together with my sister and my 4 cousins who were my mom's sister's kids. And we, the 6 of us, the group of cousins, we are all within a few years of each other. We're very close. We were like brothers and sisters growing up. I texted all of them in a group and just started bullshitting with them about whatever. That text message group now includes all of our significant others and has been a almost daily discussion for 7 years. And that, I don't want to say it became my happy place, but it became a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not feeling right. Something's upsetting me in my life. Let me send a meme to the cousin buddies chat. Let me, hey, what are your kids doing? How's school going for them?
But isn't that how family should be?
It should. I'm lucky. I know I'm lucky for that.
Yeah.
Not a lot
a lot of families
have that.
aren't built that way.
Right.
And even families I know they're close, I tell them that, and they're like, you guys talk all the time? I'm like, yeah. They're like, that's crazy. I like my family and I don't do that. That's what people say to me.
You shouldn't have to go and pay a psychiatrist when you have a tight-knit family.
Well, a lot of people go to psychiatrists, or in my case, have psychiatrists come to them, and look on them as fixers to lift them out of the shit they're in and put them on dry land. That's not actually their job. Their job is to make you look and see what is the best way you think to get out of the shit and get onto dry land.
True, and they have no skin in the game.
Exactly so. Yeah.
Let me get through some of these comments before we lose them.
Since Samurai and that coffee, I'll have a look at that, buds.
Yeah, somebody put a link up to that. Chrome, if you can put a link up. Sam, do you have the actual name of this product?
I don't know what I'm going to do when I have to stop drinking coffee.
I drink decaf, and I just do 1 cup a day.
You want me to go with Ayer?
Hang on. Simon Greatbatch says, walk a mile in another man's shoes. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until you could do that, you can go with Ayer, but hang on.
Yep.
The human condition is wild. Anyone that thinks they're normal is fucking crazy. That's Banana Rider 69. And that's so true. I've run into people who just think they have the answers for every fucking thing, and those people scare the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta touch this what Ayer said, because this hits home for me, because I'm still struggling with it, and I'm still going through it, because for me it's not even been 6 months. So Ayer says that reminds me
The dog.
Oh my God, an absolute panic around dogs. So Ayer, just so wait. So Ayer says I got attacked when I was 6, and because of rabies, I had to get injections a day a week, and then another 6 to 8 doses once a week. I would go in absolute panic. I'm okay now, but took a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was playing on the streets. This dog just started chasing me, and I tried to get away and bit into my left leg. Think mom kicked the dog off of me. Now, I'm not allowed to go, because this is social media, I'm not allowed to go full detail with my story and what happened to me 4 months ago. But I was attacked viciously by a dog. Some of you know this. I made it public. And it bit me in my upper left leg. And it took a decent chunk out of my leg, right? Literally a piece of myself, mentally, physically, the whole nine. And to be attacked by a vicious dog that still wanted more of you, and you had to kick it in its nose to get away, it's different. Like what Ayer is talking about, I can relate to that 100%. And you see this, you'll close your eyes and you'll see this dog attacking you. You can't go out to the park. Sometimes if you want to go for a walk, if you can muster it up to strength, you're always constantly watching your back. You can go to a grocery store and just go shopping, but yet you have this heightened sense to look out the windows just to make sure there ain't no fucking dog around. The PTSD that comes from that. And he was 6. I can only imagine. I'm 47, trained law enforcement officer who's dealt with dogs and canines his whole life, but never was attacked by one. And I see therapy because of it. But it's the small things. People can look at that and say, it was just a dog bite, but it's bullshit. It's more than that.
I wonder if it's it's different than getting attacked by a person. You can reason with the person. You get into
sometimes
a bar,
you can't, though.
Bar fight. Sometimes you can't, right? But generally, you get into a bar fight with somebody or an argument. Let's not say a fight, an argument.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily come to blows. You can reason, but like a wild animal, not even a vicious animal, whether it's wild or not, that's
there's no reason.
Different. There's no reasoning with them. It's visceral. It's primal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In a way that's pretty fucked up, and I can't imagine it happening.
But this. So for the life of me, I try my best not to blame the dog, because I know deep down I know it's not the dog's fault. It's the owner's fault who trained the dog this way.
Mm.
I won't say what he said to me, because I really don't want to go too much further into it, but wasn't of a positive nature.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of resentment. I wake up and I'm like, I wish that motherfucker was dead. I say shit like, fuck that dog. I can't even fucking go to a park and enjoy myself because of this guy.
It's not unreasonable for you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's like when Lily killed that baby fox. I was fucking livid with her for that. Poor little bloody thing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you're sort of like going, yeah, but there's instinct levels within animals that you can't get round them. And I was just really annoyed that she'd done it, and I felt sorry for the poor little bloody cub. And bringing it into the front room and go, here, look what I got for you. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? It's just... But that's nature. You kind of got to try and deal with that. But yeah, when you've got a dog that goes nuts at anybody,
Right.
and it's been trained to do that, then yeah, the owner needs a baseball bat across the back of the fucking head, not the dog.
Exactly.
So
Everybody in chat right now has so many different experiences. Warheart Art says, think that's bad. I survived a prison race riot.
fucking hell.
Damn.
I mean, we can reconsider it sketchpad. Man, I wish people understood the PTSD experience better. Most are way too intensive. Make it worse.
But again, people don't understand it unless it happens to them. They can try to empathize with you, or they'll secretly laugh it off and just go. And sometimes I find myself, I don't even want to tell anybody.
Yeah.
My missus knows, my brother and Mads knows, my kids know a little, my mom knows, and that's it. You guys are family at this point. Let's be honest. I don't have any other family closer than this podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be out there telling people either.
There's also a level of like shareability with different groups of people. Like, you're out here, you're on this screen, we can all watch you. Unless it's me or Kent right now or someone else that pops in here, you can't see us.
Right.
So if you want to be real, you're going to open yourself up to people in a different way than you might people you see regularly in front of you in the flesh. I'm not saying one's better than the other. It's just, it can be different. You choose how you want to share and with who you want to share.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure actually where I'm getting with this, but
No, I know exactly where you're getting at.
it's different is what I'm saying.
It is.
I must admit, I've got to know people better through chat.
Now, is that sad, Ken, or is that just the new reality? People can look at it different ways, I'm sure.
I don't know. I think it's much the same way. You know, when you have like pen pals,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and you can get to know somebody very well, you've never met them in your life.
I think it's the way the internet was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
we're getting out of this
Uh-huh.
is really what it should be. It shouldn't be ads and rage. It should be interconnecting. It's what it's supposed to do.
That's what. Yeah.
Right.
Is the kind of the idea.
Right.
So, and there's people that I've got to know in chat I've never met. I could walk by them in the street and wouldn't know it.
Right.
But I know, and we all talk, and when we're talking, we are always exposing more of our personality.
Well, you can't hide your true self is what they say.
Well, I mean, for instance, like somebody could be on here and say something, and you'll get various reactions from the people in the chat, which is giving an impression of where they stand on a particular subject.
Yeah.
So, and it shows more of their genetic makeup and what they like and what they dislike, what they think of things and stuff like that, and what generally kind of a person they are. And if they're in the chat regularly, obviously they feel some sort of affiliation with the S.O.R, for instance. In this particular case, there's some sort of connection there that they're happy to keep coming back every time it's on, and and we're all communicating with each other on different levels. So even somebody like Void, for instance, right there, right? Never met him, wouldn't know if he fell out of a fucking tree on me, right? But I got a vibe with the guy from things he's said in the chat in the past and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, never met Wagyu. And I know things about Wagyu that I don't even know about my next door neighbour. Do you know what I mean? It's although I see my next door neighbour every day, seeing people doesn't necessarily mean you know them.
I see my
true.
neighbor all the time. There's neighbors to either side of me. One side's a family we've gotten to know real well. They're friends with mutual friends, so we see them. That's cool. We see them socially. They're awesome. The other two people who have been here longer on the other side, I've never talked to. They play music. The husband or boyfriend or whoever he is sits out in the back in the summer with his buddies with an acoustic guitar. I've seen him put his Telecaster in his trunk and drive away with amps. I've heard amps and drums playing in their basement. I've never talked to them.
That's wild. You would think the connection would be there for someone to say,
yes,
hello.
Right. You think they would
unless
have
it's
heard
country,
me making
unless
noise.
it's country music, and they go, no, it's all right, mate. I don't need to know you.
But like, yeah, you would think that they would have heard me making noise, heard my wife making noise, and like,
Or maybe they
see
think
me-
you're just playing records.
maybe no, but like just my guitar playing. stuff
Oh,
like
right,
that,
okay.
like, you know, and like see me mowing the lawn, and I've been like, hey, do you guys play music? I've like tried to like when they're out there, be out there in a point where I can have that conversation, but they're the type that are like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yep.
Just kind of look away and
What is it? It's like the neighbours I used to have here about 10 years ago now, and I think it was the lady Carol, her name was, and she popped her head over the fence one day, and she goes, "Can I ask you something?" I went, "Yeah." She's never really spoken to her. They'd moved in about 3 or 4 months before. Never really spoken. She goes, "You like classical music?" I went, "Yeah." She goes, "You particularly like Mahler, don't you?" I went, "Why?" And she goes, "Well, you're playing that Mahler track all the time." I go, "Yeah, well, that's because I'm still learning it." And she looked at me and she went, "What do you mean you're still?" I said, "I'm learning how to play." Do you know what? I can't remember the name of the track either now. Track. He's listening to me. And I call them tracks. And I said, "Yeah, I'm learning." And she goes, "And you like Eric Satie then?" I said, "Yeah, well, I've been learning how to play that piece by Eric Satie as well." And she goes, "Oh, I thought it was a record." I went,
you.
"Well, thank you." I'll take that as a fucking compliment, actually.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
What she probably saying to you subconsciously is, get out of your fucking head. You already sound great. Like, you
But
got it.
I think she was initially going to putting her head over the fence to say, "Can you stop playing that fucking track over and over again really loud? It's driving us mad. Play a different record." But as soon as I said, "No, I'm learning how to play it," she went, "Oh, okay, like that."
Shit. She might even think you're famous.
I know. Isn't that funny how all these shared experiences, Space Capsule says with my neighbors, they have a band and jam often, but I've never gotten to know them.
But why is that, Space Capsule? I know it'd probably be a lot to text, but
Is it? 'Cause
why do
we
you
just-
think that is?
I don't know if we're just like reserved and we just don't want to impose, or if it sounds cliche or corny, but
Yeah, some people don't want to venture out of their circle.
yeah. Playing
It's
music with
safer.
people's a vibe
A
check,
lot of people
too.
see it as being safe. Just don't go outside the circle. You know, just
yet
be
here we
content
are.
with what you got. Yeah,
But yet here we are.
but that's
band
genetically
of
how we're
brothers.
built.
Right, but we
Miles apart.
miles apart though, kid. And this is
here
our
we have,
neighbors.
and here we have two guys that are like no more than 50 paces to the right or left.
Yeah.
That's just wild to think about conceptually.
Yeah. It's like I've never spoken to the young girl that lives next door, the daughter. Never spoken to her. She's never spoken to me or anything like that. And I've often hear her practicing on her piano through the wall. You know, and it's sort of like, and she sounds quite, she's very good. Sounds quite good.
Just talk to her. She probably love all the cool
Right.
shit you're sitting around.
Exactement. But she doesn't engage, and
Yeah.
I tried speaking to her, and she wasn't particularly interested.
That's fine then.
But there again,
As long as you tried.
the old wrinkly grey guy tried to talk to the little teenage girl. You know what I mean? So it depends on where the perception of the person you're trying to speak to, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, Space Capsule. That goes back to yesterday what we were talking about. Who do you follow and influencers? You can influence yourself to believe a whole lot of things. With that
It's like-
statement right there,
It's like S.O.R has
Go say
introduced me
hi.
to a lot of people's music that I otherwise would never have known that existed.
Yeah.
Right? And it's been quite an eye opener of listening to different styles and approaches to things. Especially, you know when you do that little thing where, you know, everybody writes a bit of music to a bit of video or something like that.
Right.
And hear what people are getting from that image, and how they're interpreting it musically was quite an eye opener.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Simon says ageism really pisses him off. It pisses me off too, because people classify these things as, oh, but you're too old for this, or people separate themselves because of the age. That's a different dynamic too to look at. But if you were to close your eyes and I were to play you a fucking Cresthead album, and you didn't know who this dude was, and I told you, oh, by the way, he's 62 fucking years old. But yet you loved every track, didn't you?
So it didn't really matter.
So does it matter?
Right.
Yeah.
At a point, it doesn't matter.
I mean, you know,
I'm not talking like a commercial entertainment, what we've fucking
understand.
constructed. Yeah.
Well, look, I can understand parents being cautious and everything like that.
Yes.
But we had an incident here last summer. I'm working on the Muzzy, bonnets up, door open, right? Beautiful day. And these 3 kids come by, and they're going, oh, wow, what car's that? And everything like that. Really interested. And they go, oh, can we have a look at the engine? I said, yeah, help yourself. And they're out having a look around the engine. Can we look inside? Yeah, no, we don't. And he goes, what's it sound like? Can you start it? I go, yeah, do you want to hear it start? And they go, yeah. I'm like, okay. So get in it, start it, and give it some, right? And you get sort of like 5.7 litres of V8 goodness come out the back, and they are fucking hard-ons, these kids. They're loving this, right? Yeah. And then suddenly there's these 2 women grabbing these kids and pulling them away, and made me feel like a fucking paedophile.
Right.
I was showing them, they were interested in the car. I'm showing them the car. Because if I'd seen an American car, well, I did when I was a kid coming home from school. There was a bloke used to have a funny car, like a Ford Pop, all done up with the big wheels and everything like that.
Yep.
And he used to look at this thing and go, you know, if the guy had been there and said, can I have a look at the car, please? And he'd say, yeah, I'd be fucking all over it. And that's all they just wanted to look at the car. You know, and no, the one woman gave me this look of, I knew precisely what she was thinking, put it that way. And I'm thinking, oh God, is that the way this planet is now? For fuck's sake.
Unfortunately,
but at exactly the same time, I felt offended. I felt kind of pissed off about it as well, you know, because they're just jumping to the conclusion. But then the other half of me is going, yeah, but there's a good reason why they're being like that, because it's not like it doesn't happen. I'm going, yeah, they're looking out for the kids. Yeah, okay, right, back off. Leave it at that. You can't win.
No.
So instead of being sort of like pissed off about it, just sort of go, oh dear, that's the way things are now. You know, that innocent moment, it is not considered innocent anymore because other people have fucked it up for everybody else.
I guess this question would be for Jack, even though he's not in here. But Jack, the more you convince yourself not to be pissed off, to look at that picture in your car you put somewhere, what type of detriment are you causing yourself if you're trying to deprive yourself of an almost guaranteed human emotion that needs to exist? Do we ultimately just want to pacify this thing completely to where it's null and void and we just don't ever feel that again?
No, I think it's an emotion that is required. It's part of your genetic makeup. It's part of you.
He says anger slides off.
Yeah, it's down to the individual to learn how to deal with it. and deal with it quickly and efficiently. Not try to avoid it.
One time I was so fucking angry. This is a while back. I just could not wrap my head around anything else. And it was so funny. It was like this calmness, this stillness said, okay, since you're this fucking angry, tell me exactly what this feels like. Tell me every nerve ending fiber emotion of what it feels like. Let me know. And I thought to myself, I'm going to sit here and I need to rationalize this and explain to myself, what am I feeling right now? And what is this that I'm feeling? What about it right now really hurts? And I start to diagnose the elevated heart rate. I started to diagnose the warmth of my body. I started to diagnose my thoughts that just constantly just engulfed around whatever the perceived problem was, how I would block everything else out, the clenched fist, the frown on my face. And as I was doing that, and I kind of honestly forgot what I was so angry about, at least back to someone else's point about if it's not going to affect you a year from now, what does it matter? And I spent that time trying to explain what I was feeling, physiological description of what you're feeling. And it took me out of the fucking anger state because I had to sit there and focus on something other than what made me angry. Now I had to sit there and focus on, well, what do I feel? What am I feeling right now? What does this feel like? And the moment you bring that into your thought process, you start to wonder, man, is this even fucking worth it?
That's a Buddhism thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Supposed to like live in it and feel it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say it's a Buddhism.
But I
thing,
tell you
I get
what.
it wrong.
But I tell you what, you guys. I tell you what.
It works.
If not only did it work,
works.
but
Sure,
it put it in perspective of what the fuck are you doing, Lamar? Like, what are you doing? You don't even know what you're feeling right now, but yet you're angry, but you don't know how it feels. You never described it. You never sit there and tell yourself what you're really feeling. You're just going with an emotion and a planted thought that's just fucking contaminated you. It's infectious.
I must admit, when I've been really, really angry at something, I mean, spitting blood angry, and I need to get it vented out, I've found the best way of doing it is to literally pour a bucket of cold water over it. And I do that. I'll come up here and I'll play something soothing on the keyboard, and you just can't stay angry.
Mm-mm.
It just, and you start going, it don't fucking matter anyway. And it just washes away.
That's the scientific. It's not, when you get mad, it's not just here. It's not just here. It's do what you got to do to all of it, to get rid of it, to live through it, push it out, and go on with your life.
Yeah.
So me and Fiona had this really, it was about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and we had this really bad argument. And I think she'd already been in a bad mood before the argument kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
And of course it's revolving around money, because she's very serious and very sensible about money, and I couldn't give a flying fuck about money. All I want to know is how quickly can I spend it, and that's it. I don't need to know anything else about it. All right. And we're having this argument, and it got more and more heated and more and more heated. And in the end, she stood up and started to storm out of the front room into the kitchen, followed by a whole host of dogs, as usual, because they're going, oh, she might be getting some treats. So she just about gets to the kitchen door, and I don't know, to this day, I don't know why I said this, but I went, oi, like that. I said, that's a traffic violation, right? And she stopped and looked around and she goes, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, it's a traffic violation. Shouldn't you have a sign on the back there, on the top of your ass, just saying caution, wide load? And she just burst out laughing. Right? And she went, do you want a cup of tea? I said, no. Can I have a cup of coffee? She went, oh, all right then. And that was it. End of it.
Right.
And I've often found that humour, whole lot comes full tumbling down.
Mm.
Like so many straws. It really does.
It makes you wonder why you're taking yourself so serious. I bet when, and this is another private little thing. It was for me only, but I'm saying it just because, like you said, you can just say things when you feel like you're in a safe space. When I had my near-death experience, this is like going on 3 years ago now. When I freshly had it, when I came back from the other side, I had zero problem of holding on to bullshit because I was just there and I knew how temporary it was. I knew how temporary when I had a perceived bad moment or something in life fucking affected me one way or another. I just I didn't care anymore. I laughed it off and I was just like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's just temporary. All this bullshit we acquired, the material, the problems, the stress, it's temporary. And I was I guess it gives you like this side effects, but it wears off eventually before you start to integrate back into quote unquote reality.
Yeah.
But I was so free of the bullshit. I just looked at everything different as it was temporary. And I would never get so upset. I'd be like, I mean, yeah, it affects me, but I would sometimes laugh it off. It's temporary.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I won't wake up. Tomorrow there's a possibility that I don't wake up. And then what would it all have been for? What would I have been holding on to that was so important in this physical life that's temporary?
Yeah.
We say we want to be with those, we want to be with those for the forever and life and eventually even they go away. Eventually even our relationships, our friendships, the cars, the scents, the bass, even those have a fucking expiration date. Yeah. So why hold desperately and cling desperately to something that's going to eventually be lost anyway? Why not just enjoy it while you have it or enjoy it in the moment? And that goes back to the bullshit. Yeah, you're going to have, like Tone says, there's going to be fucking endless walls of bullshit. Yeah. So instead, back to my ultimate question, I think I'm getting better at it, is every wall of bullshit that approaches me, I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to take it for what it is. It's going to do its thing to me. And I'm just going to, at the end of the day, look at it and go, yeah, but there's another one right behind you, so fuck off.
Yeah, that's ultimately what it is. They're just passing clouds.
Yeah. Yeah, you just work through them.
Just work through them.
Yeah. Acknowledge it that it's there and go, okay, passing cloud, what does that one behind you have on it? Because it's not always bullshit.
It's not. And there's always great hurdles, right? There's always the fun downhills that we have where it just flows. And we seem to accept those readily fine, right? Because it feels good.
Here's the one I hate. This annoys me so much. I'd have an argument with Fiona or somebody, right? About something, whatever it is, right? And it's like, all this sort of thing, right? And they go away, stomping off and sort of unresolved, and I go stomping off in the opposite direction, unresolved. Then late that night, I'm laying in bed and going, oh, fuck, they're right, I hate that.
Yeah.
When I go, yeah, it's me. I was wrong. Shit. And you contacting them the next day and go, no, sorry, mate, you were right. I was sorry. I was just being a cunt for the sake of it. I do apologize.
It's not coming out of the ego like that, and just.
Yeah, but some people don't want to relinquish their ego because they feel like they're giving up a piece of themselves, and that's like, you can't cure that. You got some people that are so tied with their ego that they don't even know who they are anymore.
I don't see it like that. I see that as, let's just put that bridge back, shall we? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Life.
It is a finicky thing, though. Like, this one topic, you
life.
Yeah,
and that's just the one. That's just the one fucking polarity.
But
of it.
You know what's also fascinating is, I say that a lot too. I don't want to die tomorrow. I don't want to kill myself. I want to live as long as possible on this planet. Now, what does that say? Even that we go through these anxiety attacks and we can't pick ourselves up in the hallway, or we wake up with cold sweats for whatever reason, or we
panic
have
attacks,
heartburn, and what does that say?
Yeah, but that's why, that's why it's important to be able to train yourself to be able to work through problems.
Mm-hmm.
Because the person that either doesn't bother or really doesn't know how and hasn't been shown are the people standing on top of buildings.
Right.
Eventually, at some point. Because life throws shit at you all the time.
All the time.
And sometimes you may get more than your fair share of it. It's the way it goes.
It's just...
And the next thing you know, some poor bastard is, putting a gun to his head, standing on top of a building, watching the train coming towards them at the station,
Yeah.
Where living is now too hard for them.
Yeah.
You got to wonder, like, I feel like it's so easy to dwell on the bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not the highest percentage of the things you feel, but you waste the most time on it. You waste the most energy on it.
Yeah.
I imagine this is why, like, rage sells. And do we have any, like, psychologists, psychiatric experts in this group? Does anyone know, like,
well, this time of night they're all out partying, mate.
If you're in here, stand out now, damn it. Put your hand up.
No. All the psychiatrists and psychologists are out getting absolutely fucking wasted.
Yeah. I even asked my shrink. I was like, so who's your shrink?
Yeah.
Who's the psychiatrist?
You want to meet the final boss shrink?
Yeah, who's your
Yeah.
So
Yeah, could you imagine when you listen to people's psychological problems all day, every day?
Are we not shrinks ourselves, though?
I think we should be. I think we should all be trained to self-analyze.
Always.
I think that's something they should teach kids in school on how to self-analyze themselves.
But what you're suggesting is you are a master. Go with me, Kent. You're a master mechanic for your own avatar, and you figured out how to repair your avatar. Now you're suited to go and repair someone else's avatar.
But not everybody's avatar is exactly the same.
No, it's not.
And like I said, you're not repairing their avatar. You're trying to show them how to
repair
to
itself.
get them to repair their own.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
And I think Space Capsule has a very good perception of what some of this looks like. He says, people are interested in the ice wall, but have you heard of the bullshit wall? The celestial mechanism that dispatches the bullshit into our lives in a very special custom cut just for you. Do you believe that that maybe in this, like, let's just call it an afterlife, right? I remember saying this before. We sign up, we come to Earth, and we're in these shopping aisles, and we say, I want a little bit of depression, because I want to know what that feels like. I want a little bit of a divorce. I want a little bit of losing a child, dealing with anxiety, and I want this whole wall of bullshit to be incorporated in my life when I get down there. And you get down to life, and this is this custom, prefabricated scheme that you've derived so you can experience what it's like. All the bullshit is custom tailored just to you. How do you feel about a narrative like that?
I mean, that would suggest like you're in a simulation and you've put these presets in the game, right? You've already established the rules. You've established what you want to experience.
Yeah.
You've implemented in this simulation. You put your proverbial
Quarter
headgear on.
Yeah.
And then your memory is wiped in a way to where you can actually go
and involve yourself
and
fully.
experience that. Now I've played some video games where I felt a emotional connection to the character.
All right.
Right? And this video game is called The Last of Us, Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah.
Where you forget about all of your shit and you immerse yourself into this video game and you allow yourself to be tied into this character. Just on the story alone and how you go through it. It's purely up to you how you go through it.
Yeah.
If we can render that and we can make that in today's society, I mean, it's a really great chance that we're living in something like it.
There are people that do that, though.
Yeah, but I mean, computer games were initially designed anyway to be a form of escapism, just to get you away from the daily toil. Right?
Yeah, but so is alcohol.
Yeah, but the thing about computer games is it worked out a lot cheaper, and 9 times out of 10 you don't end up beating your wife over it.
Yeah, that's true. It's not
9 times out of 10.
Come on, buddy.
But there's this thing where, it's the same with, engaging with characters in a film or a play. An empathy is struck up. Depending on what it is and what it's about. So that's what it is.
It goes to say something about that though with the video games and the movies. And it tells me our brain knows no different, that our brain just goes off our emotions. We could watch a great movie and it's a fictitious fucking set. All of it is just someone's writing and somebody putting it to screen, and we'll be involved with the emotion of this story. And the emotion is so strong, it tells the brain that we're actually going through this, that we've actually lost that person on the screen. And we'll run through the emotions of it, right? And our brain knows none the different. It just goes off what we're perceiving.
You ever have a
but it's also helping to train
like
your mind on what would be a good way of dealing with that situation if it happened to you, or something like it.
What did you just say, Tone?
So you ever have a physical reaction to watching something like that? Something emotional is going on, and you like. It's happened to me a couple of times, and watching the weirdest stuff too. You're like, why is this piece
causing
of entertainment?
this?
Triggered something in you. Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. Yeah,
right. And
Right.
the brain just is going to go through what your emotions are telling. It's obviously true. So let's feed into this.
But how many times has everyone in here, and including the comment section, have you and not as a woman, right? I'm directing this towards men, but you've watched a film and it's really tugging at your heartstring and you really want to show that emotion, but you fight it back. There's something in you that says, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to fully just show that emotion, but you're there. You've witnessed something that called on it. And you wanted to express it, and whether it be because your friends were there or you don't want to do it in front of your wife. How many of you fought something like that? You felt like you had to fight or flight, as Sean would say, fight that moment to where you can't let yourself succumb to this. It's just
I don't fight it.
Yeah, I stopped
I
fighting.
do not
We've
fight
all
it.
done it.
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
I'm with Tom. We've all done it though.
Right.
But I try not to do it anymore.
The thing-
I'm over it now.
Now, the theme to Schindler's List, right? Now, if I'd just heard that piece of music on its own and never seen the film, I'd go, what a lovely serene piece of music it is. But knowing what the film is connected to that music, I hear that music and that will raise a tear. Because now I understand what that music is saying to me.
My brother and I watched this. It happened to me yesterday. I'm glad you brought that up because I did it. Yesterday I did it. I didn't fight it hard. I was just like, I'm not going to give in to it. But my brother and I were watching this Best Man. It was his brother getting married, and his brother was the best man giving the speech at the end. And the shit was so fucking heartfelt, what he had to say about his brother and losing his brother, because now they're grown up and they're living their separate lives now.
Yeah.
And the shit was like he gave this well-loved, emotional brotherly speech. Yeah. And I thought to myself, God damn, man. There was no music behind it, no score. It was just his emotion.
Yes, but you can relate.
And you can relate to it.
You can relate to that on a particular level. There's not many people that are like, when you're twins like that, right? It's almost like quantum entanglement, where one brother could be on the other side of the bloody universe.
Right.
And they feel something, and you go, and you're the other side of the universe going, what?
Yeah.
You know?
And that
physical connections,
that happens a lot. Crazy Rabbit said it happened to me watching death in the movie right after my wife died. I lost it.
It's relatable.
Yep.
Yeah. And different things mean different things to different people.
About 3-4 weekends ago, I went to Pittsburgh to see a band who I'd been seeing play shows since I was 20 years old. My wife likes them. My sister likes them. We all went. My brother-in-law came with us. And they're doing their final tour. They've been touring 25 years now. They've got notoriety, but never enough to sustain. So they've just been in a van and trailer for 25 years, essentially. So they're doing this last tour. I cried multiple times during the show. This band means a lot to me. They have meant a lot to me for a long time, knowing I'm not going to see it again. That was hard. Knowing what they went through.
There's a film called Grand Prix. It was made in the 60s, right? And it was about Formula One.
Right.
And I can't remember whether it's Steve McQueen. I don't know whoever's in this film. And every time he gets to the scene where they're showing the race at Brands Hatch, and they've got like Graham Hill and all that lot on the track, those cigar-shaped Formula One cars back in the day, open wheel jobs, right? And I get very melancholy and get quite tearful watching that scene. And I'd only been going out with Fiona probably about 8 or 9 months, and I'd never broached the subject with her. And we were watching the film, and then she looked at me and she goes, "Are you crying?" And I'm going, yeah. And she goes, "What, at the film?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Of a Grand Prix race at Brands Hatch?" I said, "No, it's not the Grand Prix race at Brands Hatch that's doing it like that." She goes, so she pauses it and she goes, "Well, what then?" I said, "When they filmed this, they actually filmed the Grand Prix on the day at Brands Hatch." I said, "I'm in that grandstand there, sitting on my dad's lap."
That's pretty cool.
Right? With my nan gone, my dad gone, my granddad gone, my mum gone, right? Watching this race, and the guy that in the film that does the checkered flag to start the race and end the race was my best friend's dad. And he's gone as well. And so's my best friend. I said, so I watched this and I'm looking at this and I'm going, I'm the only fucking person left on this globe now that what was in this film meant to me. Like, it's just me now. I said, well, now there's you, because now you know, but not in the same way. And she went, oh, I see, like that.
It's kind of heavy.
So, different things, yeah, because, I mean, to a complete stranger going, why is that silly cunt crying at this? It's fucking hell, it's not like there's a crash in it or anything. What's up with that bloke?
Yeah.
You know? Because I don't know what's tied into something.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, and we all see things differently, depending on our life experiences. And, yeah. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that this bit of film in this feature film exists, and there's something, it's sad when I think about what's not around anymore from then, but it's also a sort of like a little, almost like you could reach out and touch it. It's something that's not gone.
Right.
And will stay.
Do you remember being there?
No, I was 2, I think.
Damn. Yeah.
Because that'd be great if you could remember being there.
If I could remember it as well.
Turn it on and watch it. That's
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that would be pretty cool. I must admit, but it was only because I was told. My nan and my dad have told me about how we were there, and I think there's it's only a tiny. It's up. The scene is for a couple of seconds, but there's a camera cut where she pointed me out in the crowd because I'm wearing this sort of like big sky blue jumper suit, sort of knitted romper suit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On my dad's lap, and she goes, "There you are," like that. And it's okay, and it's just a blur, And there's no, that's not coming out in 4K or anything. We can actually pick out people because you can only improve what's there to start with. So it would just be a very clear blur instead.
It's kind of funny. I'm getting to an age now where a lot of my sports heroes growing up are like getting into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So these are guys that I watched as a kid, and then now some that I watched as an adult. And I mean, I love baseball. Baseball is one of the most important things in the world to me. And watching these speeches gets me every time.
Yeah.
Watching Derek Jeter's speech for the Hall of Fame, watching Mariano Rivera's speech for the Hall of Fame. I didn't get to watch CC Sabathia just got in, and I didn't get to watch it yet. But I know that I'll just be like the whole time. Yeah. It kills me, man. Listening to these guys like give these heartfelt. Listening to a man talk about a manly thing and getting choked up about it does something to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's that vulnerability, and it shows that there ain't no fucking stigma, right? There ain't no. I think the whole definition of what a man is supposed to feel and what a man is supposed to be is a fucking some stupid ass ideation that some dumbass created, and then we decided we just decided to go with that. Instead of that,
it was
we're all
based on a
individuals.
lifestyle. It's based on a lifestyle from a few thousand years ago, and it just hasn't worn off.
It needs to fucking wear off.
Yeah, it's supposed to be wearing bear skins with a spear and go hunting, otherwise the family starves and all this sort of thing.
And I feel like I never prescribed to it, what you're talking about, Lamar, because like I never felt that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like that's what it was supposed to be.
Right.
Even watching The Ideal.
Yeah.
My dad wasn't that way, and he wasn't around a whole lot when I was a kid, but he left enough, nurture. And when I did see him, that I never thought of that as like a man, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we grew up the opposite way. We grew up with, our uncle was in our lives a lot in the most pinnacle times. And he taught us to be tough, be strong, and fight. Don't come back. If you get your ass whooped, I'm going to take you right back where you got your ass whooped, and you're going to whoop ass. We grew up tough. We had to in certain situations because the environment we grew up in.
The environment was tough. You had to be tough to survive in it.
It suffered no fool.
No, it didn't.
And it suffered no one who couldn't look after themselves.
And I think that's a good point, because growing up in South Central Los Angeles during the 80s, it was the pinnacle. It was the birthplace of gang violence. It was the birthplace of a lot of shit.
Shit, crack.
I mean,
like
cocaine
70s
was-
Harlem.
oh my God.
yeah.
And you had to fight. Like it didn't matter if you was on a up and up and you was just trying to get to school to get an education and do your own shit. You still had to fight just to make sure you could go and do that.
I used to pick fights with the biggest dude, even if I got my ass whooped. I picked the fight with the biggest dude and try to handle him, because that would let everybody else know you're no punk and not to come after you. But deep down, I was scared, but I knew what I had to do, because that's how you survive. And a lot of people didn't have to grow up that way.
Well, here, you could go to a football match up in town here, right? On a Saturday, late 70s, and there's always a possibility you could die.
Right.
From the gang, the gang violence between the football clubs.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call them? Hooligans, right?
Hooligans, yeah. Yeah, that's what the papers went for, yeah. And yeah, you could get stabbed, whatever, baseball batted or something like that, it's... Because now, it's gone.
What was the rough and tumble area in London where all the rude boys hung out in the late 70s and the early 80s, the ska people, the Rudies, whatever they called themselves?
Oh, do you know what? I mean, there was different areas in London all the bloody time that you had to avoid. At one time, you didn't walk around the East End.
Okay.
If it was it wasn't what's the word? Wasn't good for your health to wander around at the East End in an evening on a Saturday. But I mean, my uncle. Give you an idea of the mismatch of things. You've seen the film The Craze, where Tom, what's his mush, plays both Cray brothers.
Yeah. Yes.
You know the one. You know the film.
Yeah. Tom Hardy.
Hardy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. That movie was kind of wild. He did a great job.
My great uncle was murdered by the Craze.
That's crazy.
They found his head in a suitcase up at the estuary up in the East End.
Damn.
Right.
It's fucked up.
But apparently, my great uncle was a naughty boy.
Right.
Yeah.
He was a naughty boy up there,
Yeah.
and he was fucking around in those circles, and
That's
he
the environment.
Yeah, he bought the farm, and all the rest of it. And my name was, because my name would say, "Oh, no, the Craze," or it's all sort of like made to look all sort of like glamorous in some way and everything. She goes, "They were horrible. They killed your uncle. Don't forget, they killed your great uncle." Like that. Right. Yes, Nan.
That's fucking crazy.
That's wild.
I mean, but
Yeah, Martin and Gary Kemp played the Craze, but then in this later film, it's Tom Hardy plays both of them and does it really, really well.
Yeah, he was unreal in that movie.
Yeah, Tom Hardy is a phenomenal actor.
Well, to play like two people, you can't be on screen with yourself.
No.
So like to do that well is always
And then
super
interact
impressive
with
to me.
yourself who's
Self,
not there yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who are you
Yeah.
playing off of when
It's
when
very
you're not
clever,
there?
very clever.
That's like being in the green screen room, right?
Right.
You just you have to pretend there's an environment there too. Like you can't even see the environment.
And to be constantly two different characters all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
For those of you who haven't, tomorrow is Friday. Submit a popcorn jam.
That's what I'm doing the rest of my evening.
Is that what you're doing?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Submit a popcorn jam and get in there.
Well, that's what I was hoping to do today, but it's turned out it's going to be a much more larger, more engrossed track. Oh, that doesn't sound like me at all, does
No,
it?
it doesn't actually.
You mean longer than 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's just a little symphony.
Just a wee symphony.
Yeah, just a
we
wee tiny. It's just a little one.
That's missed though. God, I miss listening to you, Kent. That is one thing that I really love.
Yeah. My
I miss it as well, to be honest.
yeah.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah, I miss
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
The wife animated a 5-second animation for when life's got you down or you're angry about something, and
This is gonna be funny.
or maybe just maybe you need to tell someone to fuck off. And you all know what that looks like by now. You hop in your origami boat
You make yourself an origami paddle.
with an origami hat
Hit the 7 C's
and fuck off.
politely. I would be remiss if those two didn't look like they were actually trying their best to escape from fucking off.
Some nice paper.
Right?
Okay.
It took them a while to make that. You would have to believe the entire tribe, the entire village was in on it.
I think me in the yellow shirt when it first starts. Whoa! What the fuck was that? And, and he's like, Shush. My brother's like, shut up and just keep rowing.
We're trying to fuck off.
There you go. Lamar's going, look, you're paddling in the opposite direction to what I'm paddling, you fucking idiot. We're going around in circles.
We're not properly fucking off, are we? We're still here.
We're still in the shit.
Is it wise us being in paper, in water? I don't think paper in water is a good idea, do you?
No. But hey, you're dealing with monkeys here, Kent.
We cured it with monkey shit, Kent.
You go, wait a minute, who folded this anyway?
Yeah, we cured it with monkey shit and banana peels, man.
The oils from the monkey shit cured the paper, and it's fine. It's solidified into plastic. It's fine.
And where did we find such a fine chocolate box in the jungle anyway?
Yeah. Maybe it was those misfit bandits called samurais who just the renegades come to Monkey Island and leave their fucking trash here, and we just utilize it to fuck off on.
Yeah.
You see? Come on here.
What you got there, Tone? Who you got there?
It's a waggy tail.
My dog.
What
He's
you
adorable.
got
I
there?
can't get him to jump on my lap. Let me just show you.
You got to catch yourself, Tom.
Hello, beautiful.
That's Frank. Frank, say hi.
Frankie, baby.
Frankie, baby.
Yeah, mate.
I love the name Frank.
Yeah.
For personal reasons, but I love the name Frank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he wants to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
We're going to get out of here anyways.
We're going to shut
it
time
down.
to eat, and
You can wait.
the wife needs her man time.
Oh.
I got
She
my
needs-
boys.
Curtains need putting up. Is it?
No, it's never anything like that. It's just someone to yell at and blame things on.
Oh, that's our job, isn't it? I thought that's what our job was.
She wants to bend my ear and blame me for things and tell me what rotten person I am. Nah, it's dinner time. And normally she doesn't like to eat dinner by herself. She makes it a rule. We eat dinner together.
Like a goddamn family.
Like a
damn
goddamn
family.
family.
God. I don't know the pressures you're put under.
Yeah, you wouldn't neither, Kent, you twat.
What can I say?
That red hair suits you though. That shit just
I just prefer it to the grey.
yeah, fuck yeah.
If it ain't grey, I'm fine. She goes to me. So what do you think of the colour?
I got the
Ain't
gray
grey.
coming in. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper.
Salt and
It's
pepper.
in my hair too. You can't really see.
Oh,
it
that
on
no,
camera. It's in my
that's
hair.
cool. That was cool.
Well,
I
it's all
got
grey.
so much pussy when I used to have these grey flecks down the side here. Oh man, the ladies love that.
Yeah.
That little
But
bit
once
of that
it's grey
wisdom.
all over, mate, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, no.
There's too much wisdom.
Yeah, too much wisdom.
Too much
No, that's
wisdom.
far
Too
too
much.
much.
Yeah, that's just No.
I bet he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yo, twat.
All right, we'll be on early before popcorn night. Anybody want to join in? We're probably going to do like an open jam or something.
Yeah.
So
Try to link up. Let's get an open jam going.
let's do something different this popcorn night. Anybody want to come in? Come in.
Tell me if you can hear this real quick.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Should I turn this down?
Did you hear that sprinkly shit?
No. Do it again.
We had our shit.
Do it again. Do it again. Come on.
Get off
you need
your
the,
ass,
you need
Tone.
the exercise.
Is he wearing a bathrobe?
That's cheeky.
No, we didn't hear
No,
it.
we
know if you
couldn't
heard
hear it.
No.
Yeah, we didn't
Well,
hear it.
It's a shame.
We'll figure it out.
Marilyn's right. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
Didn't work.
Why are you wearing the same exact clothes the crazy Wabbit has for his goddamn?
I told you, this is my
Monologues.
rabbit costume.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm just now looking at that going, you look like the crazy Wabbit right now. What the hell's going on here? Where's my red sweater and black shirt?
Right?
Yeah, what's going on?
Okay, shout out to everybody who's in the comment section, all you creators and you no-gooders
All of our Aussie people who are awesome.
continuously showing up from Australia. Good morning to you people.
Daza Air.
That's kind of weird to say good morning to those people.
Damn, what time is it there?
It must be like 7 a.m. or,
It's a whole nother day. It's the future.
right?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
Tomorrow.
there.
God,
The
what's
land
future
of
like?
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Thank you all for showing up. Tomorrow is popcorn night. We're going to start early. That doesn't mean Popcorn Night is going to start when we come on. It just means we're going to start a little bit early. So look to about maybe the same time, 5:30, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Ayer says it's Friday morning, people.
It's Friday
Well, mind you,
morning.
it's Friday morning here.
Welcome to tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's early Friday morning, Kent.
Oh, yeah, very early Friday morning.
Yeah. What time is it there, Kent?
It is 10 minutes to 1.
Old money.
Old money.
In old money, yeah.
Yeah. But thank you, everybody, for showing up. We'll see you all tomorrow. And if you're in an angry mood, make yourself an origami boat.
And get yourself an origami paddle.
With an origami hat.
Anybody want to finish that? Anyone of you two want to finish that last little?
And chill.
You could do that too, I guess. And chill.
And chill.
Shit. No one's
Yeah.
saying you got to fuck
Nobody said
off.
it had to rhyme.
Right. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Love you, bye.
See ya.
Take care.